The destination is not always what matters most. It is the journey that shapes us, that teaches us who we are and who we can become.
Welcome to Cuento Resonante, Episode 3, The Old Traveler's Legacy. Embark on a journey of wisdom and self-discovery. When young Arlo finds himself at a crossroads, he encounters a mysterious old man who offers not directions, but profound insights. Together, they explore the transformative power of kindness, courage, and the journey itself. This fictional story reminds us that life's most beautiful paths are often the ones we forge ourselves, and the greatest treasures lie in the connections we build along the way. Now, on with the story, The Old Traveler's Legacy.
The Old Traveler's Legacy. In the fading light of a late autumn afternoon, a young traveler named Arlo found himself at a crossroads, both literal and metaphorical. The well-worn path he had been following through the dense forest suddenly split into 3 distinct routes, each disappearing into the shadowy undergrowth. Confusion etched across his face. Arlo noticed an old man sitting on a moss-covered boulder nearby, his weathered hands resting on an ancient backpack. Approaching the elder, Arlo asked,
"Excuse me, sir. Could you tell me which path I should take?"
The old man asked.
First, may I ask what your name is, my new friend?
Arlo responded.
"My name is Arlo. And what is your name, sir?"
The old man replied.
I have come to be known as the Bold Traveler.
The old traveler's deep-set, wise eyes twinkled with an inner light as he regarded the young man.
Now, Arlo, back to your question as to which path you should take. Your question, my friend, is one only you can answer.
He replied, his voice carrying the weight of countless journeys. Arlo frowned, his brow furrowing.
"But I don't know where these paths lead. How can I choose?"
The old man chuckled softly, a sound like rustling leaves.
The destination is not always what matters most. It is the journey that shapes us, that teaches us who we are and who we can become.
Intrigued, Arlo sat down on a nearby stump, sensing that this encounter might offer more than mere directions. The old traveler seemed to radiate an aura of profound understanding, as if the very essence of the forest had seeped into his being over the years.
Young man.
The elder began, his eyes focused on some distant point beyond the trees.
The path you seek is not always visible to the eye. Sometimes, the most rewarding journeys are those we forge ourselves, stepping off the beaten track and into the unknown.
Arlo listened intently, feeling a stirring in his soul. The old man continued, his words flowing like a gentle stream, carrying nuggets of wisdom in its current.
Many seek the path of least resistance, believing it will lead them to happiness. But true fulfillment often lies in embracing the challenges that come our way. Each obstacle is an opportunity for growth, each setback a chance to rise stronger.
The young traveler nodded, absorbing the words, and asked,
"But how do I know which challenges to take on? Which path is right for me?"
The old man smiled, lines of experience etching deeper around his eyes.
The right path, dear Arlo, is the one that resonates with your heart. Listen to that inner voice, the one that whispers of your deepest desires and truest self. It may not always lead you to comfort, but it will guide you to authenticity.
He paused, his gaze softening as he looked at Arlo.
But remember, young traveler, that no path is truly walked alone. As you journey, you'll encounter countless others, each on their own unique quest. The way you treat these fellow travelers will shape your path as surely as the direction you choose.
The old man's voice took on a gentle yet firm tone.
Treat others as you would wish to be treated, Arlo. For in the tapestry of life, we are all interconnected threads. The kindness you show to a stranger may ripple outward in ways you cannot foresee, touching lives far beyond your immediate reach.
As the old traveler spoke, Arlo felt a shift within himself, as if long-dormant parts of his being were awakening. The elder's words seemed to unlock chambers in his mind he hadn't known existed.
Remember.
The old man continued, his voice taking on a rhythmic cadence.
The path to wisdom is not a straight line. It spirals, bringing you back to familiar places with new eyes, allowing you to see deeper truths in what you thought you already knew.
Arlo leaned forward, captivated.
But what about when the path becomes difficult? When doubt creeps in?
The old traveler's eyes softened with empathy.
Doubt is a natural companion on any journey of significance. Embrace it as a teacher, not an enemy. Let it challenge your assumptions and sharpen your resolve. The path to your greatest potential often lies straight through your deepest fears.
He continued, his words carrying the weight of countless encounters and shared moments of humanity.
As you walk your path, you'll meet those who are struggling, fighting battles you cannot see. Be kind, Arlo, for everyone you meet is carrying their own burden. A small act of kindness, a word of encouragement, or even just a smile can be a beacon of hope to someone in their darkest hour.
The forest around them seemed to hush, as if nature itself was listening to the old man's counsel.
Remember, we rise by lifting others. Your journey is not just about reaching a destination, but about the people you help along the way. The truest measure of your progress will not be in miles traveled, but in the positive impact you've had on those you've encountered.
As twilight deepened around them, the forest seemed to lean in, listening to the exchange between the young seeker and the seasoned wayfarer. The old man reached into his backpack, pulling out a small, worn journal.
In my travels,
He said, offering the book to Arlo.
I've learned that each person's path is unique. What works for one may not work for another. This journal contains not answers, but questions that have guided me through the darkest forests and over the highest mountains.
Arlo accepted the gift with reverence, feeling the weight of its wisdom in his hands. The old traveler's eyes twinkled as he sensed the young man's growing understanding.
To truly find yourself, Arlo, you must be willing to lose yourself in service to others. It may seem counterintuitive, but it is in giving that we receive, in understanding others that we come to understand ourselves.
The old man reached out and placed a weathered hand on Arlo's shoulder.
As you navigate your path, use your head to handle yourself, but your heart to handle others. Respect for yourself will guide your morals, but respect for others will guide your manners. In seeking to discover the best in those you meet, you'll find you bring out the best in yourself.
Arlo felt the weight of these words settling into his being, reshaping his understanding of the journey ahead. The old traveler wasn't finished, however. His voice took on an urgency, as if imparting a crucial secret.
Don't delay in your kindness, young one. You never know how soon it will be too late. The simplest acts of compassion are far more powerful than 1,000 grand gestures. They are the true wealth we accumulate in this world.
The forest around them seemed to nod in agreement, leaves rustling softly in the breeze. The old man's eyes grew distant, as if seeing beyond the present moment.
The way you see people, Arlo, is the way you'll treat them, and the way you treat them helps to shape them into what they will become. Your attitude towards those at your mercy, the vulnerable, the weak, the struggling, that is humanity's true moral test. How you make others feel says more about who you are than any achievement or possession ever could.
Arlo felt a profound shift within himself, as if the very foundations of his quest were being reshaped. The old traveler smiled, seeing the impact of his words.
Be the reason someone smiles today, Arlo. A kind gesture can reach wounds that only compassion can heal. People may forget what you say or do, but they will never forget how you made them feel. In a world where you can be anything, choose to be kind.
The young traveler's eyes shone with newfound purpose. The old man nodded approvingly and continued, his voice soft but filled with conviction.
True humility isn't thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. Your actions may seem small, but remember, helping one person might not change the whole world, but it could change the world for that one person. We cannot always do great things, but we can do small things with great love.
As twilight deepened around them, the old traveler's words seemed to hang in the air, illuminated by the first stars appearing in the sky.
Empathy, Arlo, is about finding echoes of another person in yourself. It's the highest form of wisdom, the truest investment that never fails. The best portions of your life will be the small, nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and love you leave in your wake.
The old man's voice grew softer but more intense.
Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier. Your progress in life will depend on your tenderness with the young, your compassion for the aged, your sympathy with the striving, and your tolerance of both the weak and the strong.
Arlo felt as if each word was etching itself into his heart, fundamentally altering his perception of the journey ahead.
Remember, a single sunbeam is enough to drive away many shadows. Happiness doesn't result from what we get, but from what we give. Kind words cost little, yet they accomplish much. Treat everyone you meet as if they were the most important person on earth, for in a very real sense, they are, to themselves, and potentially to you.
The old traveler's eyes met Arlo's, filled with a profound understanding.
The most precious gift we can offer others is our presence, our full attention and empathy. Kindness begins with the understanding that we all struggle. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we are to treat others as we would like to be treated.
As the last light faded from the sky, the old man's final words seemed to resonate through the entire forest.
Life is short, Arlo, but there is always time for courtesy, for kindness, for lifting another's spirit. As you walk your path, let this be your guiding star, to leave every person you meet, every place you visit, a little better than you found them. That, young traveler, is the truest path to both authenticity and fulfillment.
The old traveler stood, stretching limbs that had seen countless miles.
Remember, young Arlo, the path to a meaningful life is not about reaching a destination. It's about becoming the person you're meant to be along the way. Each step, each choice, each interaction shapes you. Be mindful of the footprints you leave behind.
As Arlo rose to his feet, a new sense of purpose filled his chest. The old man offered one last piece of advice.
And never forget, the most beautiful paths are often those we discover when we've lost our way. Embrace the unexpected turns, for they often lead to the most breathtaking vistas.
With a nod of gratitude, Arlo turned to face the three paths before him. Clutching the journal to his chest, Arlo took a deep breath and stepped forward, no longer seeking a specific path, but ready to forge his own. The forest seemed to whisper around him, echoing the old traveler's wisdom.
The journey itself is home.
As he ventured into the unknown, Arlo realized that the true adventure lay not in reaching a destination, but in the transformative power of the journey itself. With each step, he felt more aligned with his authentic self, more open to the lessons hidden in every challenge and triumph. As Arlo began walking down the unfamiliar path, a sudden wave of uncertainty washed over him. The weight of the journey ahead felt overwhelming, and he found himself longing for more guidance from the old traveler. His feet slowed, then stopped, and he turned and looked back toward the moss-covered boulder where the wise elder had sat just moments ago. But to his astonishment, the clearing was empty. No trace remained of the old traveler or his ancient backpack. The forest seemed to hold its breath, as if acknowledging the profound lesson in this moment of absence. Arlo stood there, the journal clutched tightly to his chest, as a deeper understanding began to take root within him. The old traveler's disappearance was perhaps his final and most important lesson, the necessity of making one's own decisions. He realized that life would not always provide a wise mentor at every crossroads. The path ahead was his to navigate, with all its uncertainties and challenges. The absence of the old traveler underscored the importance of trusting his own judgment and the wisdom he had already gained. Yet, this realization didn't diminish the value of the encounter. Instead, it heightened Arlo's appreciation for the brief but profound interaction. He understood now that life's fleeting nature made such moments of shared wisdom all the more precious. With a mix of gratitude and resolve, Arlo turned once more to face the path ahead. He knew that while he must make his own choices, the old traveler's words would echo within him, a guiding light in times of doubt. The journey was his alone, but he carried with him the collective wisdom of those he had encountered and would yet meet. As he took his first confident steps forward, Arlo was determined to cherish every interaction, to learn from each encounter, knowing that life's brevity made each shared moment of wisdom a treasure beyond measure. The path ahead was unknown, but he was ready to face it, armed with the knowledge that true growth comes from within, guided by the wisdom of others, but ultimately shaped by one's own choices, beliefs, and experiences. When the young traveler stopped to rest and opened the journal, he found its pages filled with questions carefully written by the old traveler. Each entry seemed designed to guide him not just on the roads ahead, but through the uncertainties of life itself. The questions were meant to prompt thought, foster understanding, and encourage growth. Here are some of the questions the old traveler had inscribed under several categories in the journal.
Reflection and insight. What have I learned today that could not have been learned by staying in one place? How has this day changed the way I see myself or the world? Curiosity and discovery. What story does this place hold that I might not see at first glance? What question have I not asked that might open new paths? Gratitude. What moment of kindness have I received, and how can I return it to the world? What beauty surrounded me today, and how did it shape my heart? Connection with others. Who did I meet today, and what might I learn from their journey? What common thread binds my story to theirs? Growth and challenges. What fear or hesitation did I overcome today? What step can I take tomorrow that I avoided today? Perspective and metaphor. What mountain am I climbing, and what does the summit mean to me? How does the wind I feel echo the freedom or resistance in my own spirit? Simplicity and truth. What is the simplest truth I have seen today? Am I walking toward my truest self, or am I wandering from it? Timeless wisdom. If I were to ask this question a year from now, how might my answer change? What do I seek, and what do I already hold within me?
The old traveler's closing note in the journal read,
This journal is more than a book, it is a companion, a mirror, and a map. The questions within it are only seeds, the answers will grow in the fertile soil of your experiences. The first step to an answer is a question. As you can see, this journal is only about 10% complete, with much space in the journal for you to begin writing questions, seeking answers, and perhaps, as I did for you, share this journal with a new traveler someday to increase the rewards of their journey through life.
As Arlo read these words, he felt the weight of the journal shift from being an object to a symbol, a vessel of wisdom waiting to be filled with his own journey. The old traveler's words continued to resonate within him, a compass for the soul, guiding him through the labyrinth of life. Arlo understood now that his path would be unique, shaped by his choices, his courage, and his willingness to embrace the unknown. And so, under a canopy of stars just beginning to emerge, Arlo walked on, no longer a lost traveler, but a seeker of wisdom, ready to write his own story along the many paths of life. He carried with him not just the journal of questions, but a heart newly awakened to the profound interconnectedness of all journeys and the transformative power of kindness and empathy. As he disappeared into the depths of the forest, the air seemed to shimmer with possibility, as if the very fabric of reality had been altered by the wisdom shared. The crossroads stood empty once more, waiting for the next aspiring traveler to arrive. Perhaps also at the crossroads would be an old traveler with words of wisdom for new travelers. Somewhere in the distance, Arlo's footsteps echoed with purpose, each one a promise to leave the world a little better than he found it. The end.
The balance of this podcast episode will be the reading and playing of the song The Old Traveler's Advice and other music. A link to the story transcript and song lyrics is in the description area of this podcast episode. Now on with the reading and playing of the song The Old Traveler's Advice.
The Old Traveler's Advice. The road splits, and the way is unclear. The importance of the journey is not the destination, but the steps you take along the way. Every choice you make holds the power to change. Choices along your journey is what shapes you. It's not where you go, but how you travel through it. The trials you face are not obstacles to avoid, they are moments to grow, to learn more about who you are. In the discomfort, you find your wisdom. Kindness is a compass, guiding every step. Treat others with care, for in lifting them, you find your path. Each decision you make shapes the world around you. Through every encounter, you discover your journey, it is within you, and the way you treat others.
and the way is unclear. The importance of the journey is not the destination, but the steps you take along the way. Every choice you make holds the power to change. Choices along your journey is what shapes you. It's not where you go, but how you travel through it. Trials you face are not obstacles to avoid. They are moments to grow, to learn more about who you are. In the discomfort, you find your wisdom. Kindness is a compass guiding every step. Treat others with care, for in lifting them you find your path. Each decision you make shapes the world around you. You discover your journey. It is within you, in the way you treat others. When at the crossroad where paths divide, don't rush, young traveler, sit a while. The choice ahead is not just which way to go, but who you'll become with each step forward. Choose wisely the direction of your travels. The easiest path may not be the best choice. Listen not just with ears, but with your conscience. Trust the compass within, it knows the way. Challenges aren't meant to break you, they shape you. Growth comes not from comfort, but courage. Be kind to those who walk alongside. Their burdens may mirror your own. Each step teaches, every turn reveals not where you're going, but who you're becoming. Leave kindness in your wake, don't neglect to help others in need. Journey is your home, not the destination. Step forward with purpose, step forward with grace. And if doubt finds you, welcome it as a guide. Every crossroads is a chance to discover yourself anew.
At the crossroads of life, listen to your heart's true call. The path you choose shapes the person you become. Kindness is the light that guides you through the dark. In giving we receive, in understanding we grow. Embrace the journey's twists, for wisdom lies in challenges. Leave the world better than how you found it.